press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello everyone. In the last class we had discussed about the reproductive organs, that too in male and female. Okay, male and female reproductive organs. Right, we had discussed about the reproductive organs, and from the male reproductive organs, that is from the testes, by the process called spermatogenesis, sperms are produced. And the female reproductive organ, that is from the ovary, oogenesis will be oogenesis. By the process of oogenesis, ovum will be formed, or else ova. Plurally it is called as ova, singular it is ovum. Okay, so we had discussed about this, and here the egg is big in size compared to the sperm. Sperms are usually smaller with a tail, right? And ovum, it has a dense cytoplasm. Now these two, male and female gametes, the reproductive cells, they will fuse to form. Okay, the fusion will take place to form the zygote, right? So the fertilization process I had explained in the previous session. Here what happens in the fertilization, the mother, the reproductive cell of the mother, the ovum of the mother will meet the reproductive cell, that is sperm of father. Okay, there is a meeting of ovum and sperm will take place, which leads to the formation of zygote. So here what happens, during fertilization, so if it is the ovum, the sperms will enter into the ovum, that is the sperms will release the genetic material, right? The sperm will release the genetic material into the ovum. So in the ovum, in the cell, there will be the genetic material of the father and also the genetic material of the mother in the form, that is in the zygote. Two type of genetic material will be present after fertilization. So here what happens, the new individual, okay, from the zygote, the embryo will be formed, then fetus, then new individual will be delivered from the mother, right? So this new individual, it has both the characters of parents, like from the male parent as well as the female. From father and mother, the child will inherit the characters. Okay, that characters are transferred from the parent to the new individuals, to its young ones, right? So this is because the genetic material from the father and the mother both will be present in the zygote, and that is why, due to that, the child will have both the characters. Some of the characters may be from father and some of the characters may be from mother. Okay, so this was about the fertilization. Now let us discuss about the types of fertilization, right? So coming to the types of fertilization. In the fertilization, till now we had studied about the fertilization, right? So this process is called as, okay, types of fertilization. Right? In that, first one is internal fertilization. So here, internal fertilization means what we have studied till now, the fertilization process. So in humans what happened? The sperms are ejected to the female reproductive organ, inside the female reproductive organ, and inside that female reproductive system, okay, in the system the fertilization will take place, right? So here this is internal fertilization. It means the fertilization or else the fusion of gametes will take place inside the female inside the female reproductive system, okay. Inside the female reproductive system the internal fertilization will take place, that is fusion of male and female gametes, that is internal fertilization. So for example, the internal fertilization may take place in many animals like cow, dog, right, human, and all the mammals, okay, and in some all the mammals. Now coming to the second type of fertilization, that is external fertilization. So what is this external? Here internal means inside the body, that is opposite to the external. That means in the external fertilization the fission of male and female takes place outside the female body, that is in the environmental condition, okay. External fertilization, it takes place outside the female body, whereas internal inside the female body, right? So for example, like in external fertilization, the frog and toads, so what they do during summer season, during spring season or else in the rainy season, at that time these frogs and toads, they will reach the water surface, okay, like ponds or some water surface, and there when the male and female they meet, at that time the female will lay the eggs, okay. When they meet, the female will lay the eggs in the water surface, on the water surface, okay. That is the frog egg. The frog will release the eggs in 100 of numbers, okay. In 100 numbers it will release 100 eggs. For example, take it will release 100 eggs, and if you compare these eggs with the eggs which you have seen like hen, okay, in hen legs if you compare them, so here what happens, the frog eggs have the outer cell which is present in the frog egg, it is very delicate compared to the egg of hen, okay, and these eggs are combined by a jelly layer, okay. The layer of jelly, it will hold the eggs of frog and also it will protect the eggs. One is the frog eggs are the shell, okay. The shell is very delicate, one, and one more point is shell is very delicate and the jelly layer holds egg and also protects, okay. So if you want the difference between the egg of hen and egg of frog, one is, if you compare both of them, one, the frog egg is very delicate, the shell will be very delicate, and one more, they are in the groups, the eggs are in the groups, it is because it have a jelly layer which holds the eggs, okay, and it will also protect the eggs from the outer environment, right. So now the female frog will lay the eggs, and the male frog, when the male frog get to know that female frog has laid the eggs, the male frog will travel to the eggs, okay, travel to the eggs and it will deposit the sperms on them. Like if it is the female frog, okay, female frog, the male frog, it will deposit the sperms on the eggs. Okay, it will deposit the sperms on the eggs, and the sperms which has the capacity to travel, it is motile, right, due to the presence of tail. So these sperms, they will swim in water and they will fuse with the eggs. Okay, and here the fission will take place and the zygote will develop in the external environment itself, that is in the water. Okay, in the water the fission, fertilization will take place, as well as the development of the zygote will also take place in the water surface or else in the water. Okay, so this is external fertilization, whereas internal fertilization, the sperms are ejected into the female reproductive organs. But here what happens? The eggs are released out of the body as well as the sperms are released out of the body, that to the environment like water, in the water medium. So there the fertilization will takes place. Okay, so this is about the external fertilization, one of the example of external fertilization. Now in the internal fertilization, we had discussed that only one egg is released in one cycle. Okay, only one egg is released. But what about in external fertilization? I said there are 100 of eggs or more than 100 it may be. So why they need to lay so many eggs? Why not the internal fertilization can lay many eggs, or else internal fertilization, why it does not involve many eggs? Why only external fertilization needs so many eggs? So here it is because the eggs are released out to the environment, out of the body to the environment, and in the environment the eggs will be present it may be in high temperature or else in the water current or in the rain, right? So there are some external environmental influences that will lead the eggs to become weak or else to destroy them, right? So for that sake more number of eggs are laid. That is because, for example, in the 100 eggs, okay, fertilization may take place for about only 50 eggs. 50 eggs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು, 100 eggs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ 50 eggs ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ದಿಸ್ ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟರ್ನಲ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲೇ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 50 ಝೈಗೋಟ್ ಏನು ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಮೇ ಸರ್ವೈವ್ and some of them may die. Some doesn't have the tolerance capacity, howda? So in that around 20 eggs may survive, 20 zygotes may survive. Okay, so this 20 will become new individual. So think the frog laid only one egg, ಒಂದೇ ಎಗ್ ಬಂತು, ಒಂದೇ ಎಗ್ ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಎಗ್ಗಲ್ಲಿ ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಓಕೆ, ಫರ್ಟಿಲೈಸೇಷನ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಎಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಎಗ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಟು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ದ ಎಗ್ಸ್, ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ frog, that will be wasted because reproduction process need lots of effort for laying eggs or else for the release of sperms. It need lot of effort, that means it need lot of energy, okay. For that sake okay, so here when the egg is released, if there is only one egg is released, then fertilization would not have taken place. Then what happens, the effort which is made by this female frog will be wasted, right? At one point ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು, at least 100 eggs ಅಲ್ಲಿ some of the eggs may develop into a new individual, right? So for that sake the external fertilization, the animals which prefer the external fertilization lay more eggs compared to the animals which prefer internal fertilization. Okay, so this was about the fertilization, types of fertilization. Now I think you all have heard about test tube babies, right? So what is meant by test tube babies? The babies, why they are called as test tube babies, right? So now taking the test tube, so what are these test tube babies? What happens, I think you may all heard about some females, okay, some females, they cannot bear a child, they are unable to bear a child. So at that time the doctor will suggest that parents, okay, the female cannot bear a child, at that time the doctor will suggest them to undergo IVF, that is in vitro fertilization, the IVF, in vitro fertilization. Here what is in vitro fertilization, right? When the female is unable to bear a child, okay, unable to bear a baby, so doctor will suggest them to undergo IVF. So how the process takes place, that is they will collect the egg from the mother, okay, they will collect the fresh egg which is released, they will collect the egg from the mother and sperms from father, okay. These two, the egg and sperms, they are kept in the test tube for some hours, okay. They are kept in the test tube for some hours. It is because in the test tube the fertilization may takes place, right? The fertilization may takes place in the test tube. So fertilization ಆಗಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ they will keep the egg and sperms in a test tube. After few hours, when the fertilization took place, fertilization ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆವಾಗ the zygote is allowed to develop for a week, okay. Zygote ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದು ಒಂದು ವೀಕ್ ಅಷ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಆಗೋದಕ್ಕೆ they will leave that to develop for a week. After that, when the zygote develop for some stages, okay, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ zygote develop ಆದಮೇಲೆ they will implant the zygote into the female uterus. So female womb ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, uterus, so uterus lining ಗೆ so they will implant, okay, they will implant the zygote to the mother, and later the development of the embryo as well as the fetus will take place inside the female reproductive organ, that is inside the womb. In the uterus the zygote will develop, okay, and after that when the zygote develops or else the fetus, after 9 months the mother will deliver a baby, right? So as usual, as how the delivery of the babies takes place, like that only the test tube babies are delivered. But why they are called as test tube babies? Here this word may confuse you, that does the babies develop in test tube? No, the only some part of the zygote will develop, some stages of zygote will develop in the test tube or else in the external medium, okay, and then it is implanted to the mother. Like how the fetus develops inside the mother, likewise only the test tube babies are developed. Here the babies are not developed in the test tube, okay. So this was one of the concept where in vitro fertilization, that is fertilization takes place outside the body in the laboratory condition, okay. So this was about the test tube babies and IVF. Hopefully now you don't have confusion regarding the test tube babies, right? Now this was about the fertilization process. Till now we had studied about types of fertilization, that is external fertilization and internal fertilization. As well as in the external fertilization, one of the example is frog. Like how frogs, they will lay the eggs outside, that is in the water medium, and how fertilization takes place, right? So now let us discuss about how this zygote, right? How this zygote develop into a new individual. That is, zygote is of only one cell. How this zygote develops into a new individual? Let us discuss that. That is the development of embryo. So here, development of embryo. What is this development of embryo? Right? So what happens when the zygote is formed? Like if you consider this is the ovary, and from the ovary the fallopian tube will follow, right? So here, so if you consider this as a female reproductive organs, here the ovaries will release the ovum, okay, and when the sperms enter, here the zygote will be formed, fertilization will be formed, and the zygote which is of single cell, I'll write here, the zygote which is of single cell, when fertilization takes place, there is two genetic materials, two types of genetic materials, that is from the father and mother. Now this zygote which is of single cell, it will divide into two cells, okay, it will divide into two cells. That is one stage. Now these two cells will divide into four cells, and 4 into 8, 8 into 16, and 16 into 32. Okay, like this cell division will take place. I think you all know about cell division, right? So cell division is the like it is the process where the cell divides, or else cell fission will take place. Cell fission, that is breakdown of cell will take place, which leads to the formation of new cell, right? So here the zygote will undergo cell division and two cells are formed. From the two cells, 4, from the 4 again 8 cells to 16, and then 16 into 32. When the zygote reaches the 32 stage, that is this stage is called morula. Okay, this stage is called morula. And here, after the formation of morula, after this stage, the morula is then further differentiated. The cells which are present, the cells will be in a group. They will differentiate to form blastocyst. Okay, I'll write here blastocyst. Like the blastocyst will be okay, the blastocyst has outer layer, okay, outer layer called as trophoblast, and inner mass cells, and a cavity which is called as blastocyst. This is the cavity, right? So when the zygote develop and when it reaches to the blastocyst stage, like it will travel down to the oviduct. So the development, like here the zygote is formed, and 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell, 32, right? That is the morula. And when the blastocyst is formed, it will implant to the uterus, wall of the uterus, right? Here uterus has a wall. On that wall, the blastocyst will implant. It will attach to that wall, and further development will take place. This blastocyst will develop into an embryo. Again here cell division will take place, okay, and the embryo will lead to the development of fetus. That means the cells which are present in the blastocyst, they will differentiate. That means one cell, for example, here it is a group of cells, okay, consider this as a group of cells, and this group of cells must differentiate, must differ to develop into a different type of organs. Like we have kidney, heart, liver, eyes, right, and digestive system, stomach, intestine. So these all are different type of organs. Now these cells, they will differentiate to form different type of tissues and also different type of organs in the body. And after the blastocyst formation, what I said, like inner mass cell, they will differentiate to develop into different organs. Now this blastocyst will develop into embryo, and then embryo will develop into the fetus. So in the fetus, what happens? Legs, hands, head, like eyes, nose, it will start to develop. Okay, so this is about the embryo development. Here you must remember that the zygote, which is single cell, it will divide to the number of cells, and the blastocyst, it will implant to the uterus wall, and when it implants, there will be development of embryo. Implantation ಆದಮೇಲೆ embryo development start ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, embryo develop ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, embryo ಇಂದ next fetus develop ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, in the fetus, what you see? You will see the body's parts like hands, legs, nose, head, right? So these all are body parts which we can see in the fetus. Okay, so this is about the development of embryo, and here the development of embryo is termed as embryogenesis. Embryogenesis, right? So the development of embryo is called as embryogenesis. Now here it was in the female, that is in the humans, in the female reproductive organs of human, the development have been taken place. That is one of the example. But some of the birds will lay the eggs, right? How eggs are produced? Here what happens? The zygote will develop into a fetus. The fetus is later developed into a, or is delivered into a newborn baby, right? That is case of humans. But what about in birds like hen, right? In hen, what happens? The fertilization takes place internally. So internal fertilization agate, that is fission of male and female takes place. Fission of male and female gametes takes place inside the female reproductive organ, right? So at that time, the fertilization which takes place, after that the zygote which is formed, okay, the zygote which is formed, it will travel down the oviduct, okay, you should consider it will travel down the oviduct, and when it is traveling down, the zygote will develop into a thick shell. The zygote will contain a thick shell, layer by layer ಇಲ್ಲಿ shell develop ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, thick calcareous shell develop ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. And when the shell is developed, when the thick shell is developed in the female reproductive organ, then the hen will lay the egg, right? The hen will lay the egg. I think you all have seen the egg. It will have a thick outer covering, calcareous covering, the white color covering irutte. That is nothing but the calcareous shell which is developed, and it is developed by the zygote. Illi enagutte, fertilization agutte. Zygote, when it is traveling down the oviduct ಇಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ to the uterus, ಆ ಪಾತ್ವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, so ಅಲ್ಲಿ the shell will be developed, okay, and when the shell is well developed, the hen will lay the egg. And I think you all have seen that the hen, it will always sit on the eggs, on its egg. That is, it will give the warmth to the egg, so that the eggs, inside the eggs, the embryo which is present, it will develop. So here the development is outside the body. So in the humans, what happened? The development was inside the body. But here, in case of birds, that is in hen, the development is outside the body. In the environment, the development will take place. Okay, so this was about the external fertilization. I think you must all have observed that there are three cases in the fertilization as well as in the development. One is internal. So in the internal fertilization, the development is internal. That is case of humans. That is one case. And here one more, that is internal. The fertilization is internal. Okay, the fertilization, it is internal, and the development is external. That is outside the body. For example, hen. Okay, and one more case, that is the development is external. Sorry, the fertilization is external and development is also external. Like in frog. Okay, so here fertilization is internal as well as the development is also internal in case of humans. So these organisms which deliver a young one or else which deliver a baby, okay, these are called as viviparous. These are called as viviparous organisms. The organisms which give birth to the young ones, are called as viviparous organisms. Like in the viviparous organisms, the fertilization will take place internally as well as the development also will take place internally. Okay, so these are called as viviparous animals. Where in the second case, here what happens? The fertilization is internal and development is external. For example, hen. So these type of organisms are called as oviparous. Oviparous organisms. The organisms which lay the eggs, okay, are called as oviparous organisms. Here in case of this also, they are called as oviparous because, for example, frog, it will lay the egg, right? Whatever the condition, it may be external fertilization or else the external development. Here the frog will lay the eggs. So they are called as oviparous organisms. One is viviparous and another one is oviparous. Two types of organisms are based on whether they give birth to the young ones or they lay the eggs. Okay, you must remember these two terms. One is viviparous, another one is oviparous. So this was about the development of the embryo. I think you all have got to know about how the development takes place. In the viviparous, like the development will take place inside the body and the parent, the mother, will give birth to the young one, right, in human beings. Whereas in oviparous, the fertilization takes place internally, but the development will take place externally. For example, hen. So these type of organisms, they lay the eggs, Okay, and it is called as oviparous organisms. Okay, so this was about today's session, that we had discussed about the types of fertilization, internal fertilization and external fertilization, and also the development of embryo. So in the next class, let us discuss about how this embryo, okay, how these young ones, embryo into the young ones, how these young ones develop into an adult in some lower organisms. Okay, so how in lower organisms the young ones, it will develop into an adult. And also in the next session, let us discuss about the asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, thank you.